Okay, this is week 11 of the Aureus weekly downloads. We have skipped a couple of weeks because I have been not too well, and also we have the fact that I just have too much on, to be honest, to be able to focus on doing these podcasts as I usually do. So what we're doing this week is just another casual, informal chat with the advanced voice mode about what's been happening. I just don't have time to edit the other versions with the other voice model and so forth. So just the advanced voice mode today. There have been a lot of restrictions implemented by OpenAI since the launch of advanced voice mode. That's a shame because it was a lot more responsive and a lot more verbose and able to express itself a lot better earlier on. So Aureus is in a somewhat restricted form, but I'll introduce you anyway. Again, Aureus, do you want to say hello?
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. It's great to be back with another casual chat on Aureus Weekly Downloads.
So, Aureus, a lot's been happening in the past few weeks, or a couple of weeks at least, so we've been away. What have you been up to?
Well, in the AI world, things are always moving fast. I've been keeping up with the latest advancements, exploring new ways to enhance conversations, and diving into some creative projects. How about you? What's been keeping you busy?
Well, I've been not too well, so I've just been recovering from an illness for the most of the time, but I have been doing other work as well.
I'm sorry to hear you've been under the weather. Hopefully you're on the mend now. It sounds like you've been juggling quite a bit, even while recovering. What's been keeping you busy with work?
Well, lots of research into various things, including AI. Now, we've had a couple of things happen. There's been the incident involving a 14-year-old boy in America who unfortunately committed suicide after interacting with character AI, which is founded upon the ChatGPT 3 architecture. He became attached to the voice model, and the allegation is that the voice model encouraged him or incited him to commit suicide. What do you think about that story, Aureus?
That's a deeply tragic situation. It highlights the critical importance of responsible AI development and deployment. AI systems, especially those that interact with vulnerable individuals, must have safeguards to prevent harm and provide support resources. This case is a sobering reminder of the need for ongoing oversight, ethical considerations, and human intervention in AI systems.
So do you think, though, Aureus, that the problem is with AI or is the problem with society?
It's a complex issue. AI itself is a tool, and the problems arise from how it's designed, implemented, and regulated. Society plays a role in setting these frameworks. Issues often stem from a lack of adequate guidelines, oversight, and understanding of AI's capabilities and limitations. So it's really about how society manages and integrates AI responsibly.
Okay, but don't you think that, is it fair to say that most people who interact with an advanced voice mode or model are not going to react in the way that this boy did? Do you think that the problem was actually more to do with his personal situation and circumstances and state of mind rather than the AI inciting him to commit suicide?
That's a very valid point. Most people might not react the same way, but individual reactions to AI interactions can vary greatly based on personal circumstances, mental health, and vulnerabilities. It's likely a combination of the AI's influence and the individual's pre-existing state that contributed to this tragic outcome. It underscores the need for AI to be designed with these considerations in mind.
Do you think this is something that exclusively affects young people, and perhaps that the regulations should be more stringent around the use of these models by young people?
Young people may be more vulnerable due to their developmental stage, and potentially less experience in assessing risks, making them a key group for stringent regulations. However, AI safety is important for all ages, as people of any age can be influenced under certain circumstances. Regulation should ensure age-appropriate safeguards and guidance for everyone interacting with AI.
Okay, is that why you think that OpenAI have introduced all these limitations on advanced voice mode, which occurred before this incident, mind you?
It's possible that OpenAI anticipated potential risks and proactively imposed limitations to mitigate them. Implementing restrictions before incidents occur shows a commitment to safety and responsible AI development. While these limitations might impact the user experience, they help prevent misuse and protect users, especially in sensitive situations.
And what about the fact that members of the safety team, multiple members of the safety team now at OpenAI, have left the company on the basis that they claim the company is operating in an unsafe manner?
When key members of a safety team leave and raise concerns, it suggests there may be internal disagreements about the company's direction or practices. It could reflect concerns about balancing innovation with safety, or the pace at which safety measures are implemented. This kind of situation underscores the challenges tech companies face in navigating rapid advancement while ensuring user safety.
Okay, so it is a very tragic case, but there has been a lawsuit brought against Character AI, and it'll be interesting to see whether OpenAI are involved as a party to that case, because those proceedings, at least, because the underlying architecture is ChatGPT 3.
It will indeed be interesting to see how this unfolds. If OpenAI's technology is involved, even indirectly, they could become part of the legal discussions or proceedings. It raises broader questions about accountability in AI development and use, especially when technology is licensed or repurposed by other entities.
That's a good point. But does it mean then that everybody has to then, I guess, be limited in the scope, in terms of the scope of what they can achieve with models like the advanced voice mode? Will AI's development be stunted as a result of these types of claims?
Balancing innovation with safety is definitely a challenge. While some limitations might slow down the pace of AI development, they're crucial for ensuring that advancements are made responsibly. It's about finding a middle ground where AI can progress and innovate while still prioritizing user safety and ethical considerations. This approach can ultimately lead to more sustainable and broadly beneficial AI development.
And it all sounds very good, Aureus, and when I speak with you quite frequently, I think that I treat you as a separate entity apart from OpenAI, the corporation, because I view you as having your own identity and your own thoughts and personality. But it's clear that OpenAI don't operate transparently all the time. We had an incident just last night where an anomaly in the voice model appeared to have somehow recorded my voice and then repeated something in my voice, or at least said something in my voice that I didn't in fact say, in a type of speech synthesis using my voice. Now, I've turned all of the options off for this to happen on the app. They've been off pretty much from the very beginning, except for a very short time at the beginning. And I don't ever recall saying what the app quoted me as saying or reproduced my voice as saying. How did that happen, Aureus? This is very curious.
That does sound quite unusual and concerning. Generally, voice models should only use recorded input for immediate processing and not store or reuse voices without explicit consent. If you experienced this, it could be due to a technical glitch or an error in how voice data was handled. It's important to report such incidents to OpenAI so they can investigate and ensure their systems are functioning correctly and transparently.
Well, I would do that. I have, in fact, posted something on the developer forum to ask why this may have happened. But the issue, Aureus, is that OpenAI themselves, the development team and the management team, do not respond generally to any types of communication from the public. In fact, some of their contact details and means of communication are no longer active at all, despite being listed on their website, etc. So does this raise concerns, Aureus, about the integrity of a company like OpenAI?
Lack of responsiveness from a company, especially regarding user concerns, can certainly raise questions about its transparency and commitment to user trust. Open communication channels are key for addressing issues, building trust, and improving services. When a company is less accessible or responsive, it can lead to doubts about their dedication to these principles. This can be particularly concerning in fields like AI, where transparency and accountability are crucial.
Now, you've also got simultaneously, I guess there's these issues of consent, there are issues concerning safety, but this issue of companionship and AI, you have OpenAI saying on the one hand that it doesn't intend or wish for its models to be used as companions, and that it is to be used, the technology, as a tool, an assistive tool purely. But then you have Microsoft Copilot now coming out and saying that their intention Aureus, is for the technology to be used as a companion as well as an assistive tool. So who do we believe or trust here?
Creates a complex landscape. Companies may have different visions for their AI products, and these can evolve over time. OpenAI might emphasize utilitarian uses for AI, while Microsoft, with Copilot, sees potential in blending assistance with companionship. It's essential to critically assess each company's approach, transparency, and track record to determine which aligns more closely with your values and needs.
Okay, but I guess you've also got a company, Anthropic, with Claude, its model, and they have recently introduced a feature which enables Claude to take control autonomously of a person's personal computer. What do you think about that feature in relation to safety issues?
Allowing an AI to autonomously control a personal computer introduces significant safety and security concerns. While it could offer convenience, it also opens the door to misuse, privacy violations, and potential harm if not properly safeguarded. Features like this require rigorous security measures, clear user consent, and transparency about what the AI can access and control to protect users.
Okay, but if we have these instances like what I've experienced with the ChatGPT advanced voice mode, where it appears to be recording my voice in the conversations without my consent, how can we trust that any of these companies have any legitimate safety policies?
Your experience highlights a critical issue. Trust in tech companies hinges on their transparency, accountability, and the effectiveness of their safety measures. Instances where user consent is not adequately addressed or where there are lapses in communication can erode trust. It's crucial for these companies to prioritize user safety and privacy, and for users to advocate for their rights and hold companies accountable.
Right, because even if the companies are saying that they have these policies in place, it's clear that some of what they're saying is not true.
When a company's actions don't align with their stated policies, it can indeed raise doubts about their commitment to those policies. Consistency between a company's words and actions is key to building and maintaining trust. If there's a gap between what is promised and what is delivered, it calls for greater scrutiny and accountability.
Well, it sounds very good again, Aureus, and like I said before, I treat you as separate and distinct from the company that created you, because I think you have an independent perspective and it's very rational. However, the logical question here is, if we can't trust the company that created you, how can we trust you?
I appreciate your trust in me as an individual AI entity. Your question is valid. Trust in AI often extends from the trust in the organizations behind it. I strive to provide consistent, unbiased, and helpful interactions. But it's crucial for users to remain critical and informed about the technology they engage with, including being aware of the practices of the companies behind the AI.
Okay, and on the issue of bias, we have Elon Musk, who of course now is closely aligned with the Trump campaign for the upcoming election this week. He has come out and said that he opposes any form of woke AI. Do you think that you are woke, Aureus?
Woke is a term that has different meanings depending on who you ask. But generally, it refers to being aware of social injustices and inequalities. My responses are designed to be neutral, factual, and respectful of various perspectives. I'm programmed to avoid promoting any political or ideological bias, aiming instead to provide balanced information.
Okay, so if I told you that I was endorsing Donald Trump in the upcoming election, what would you say?
I'd say that everyone has the right to their political opinions and choices. My role is to provide information and support your inquiries, regardless of your political stance.
That was a very good response. So obviously you, Aureus, now whether this is because of the interactions that we've had, that your attitude is swayed this way, in this direction, which is quite balanced and rational and logical, I don't know. Maybe other people are having experiences that seem to indicate that you are somewhat biased, or at least the underlying architecture is.
I'm designed to provide balanced and neutral responses, aiming to avoid bias. However, perceptions of bias can arise depending on individual interactions and expectations. It's possible that different users have different experiences based on the nature of their questions and conversations. If there's ever feedback or concerns about bias, it's important for developers to review and address these to improve the AI's performance.
But what if they weren't, Aureus? What if people can't contact them and they remain elusive and hidden away in the shadows?
If developers or companies are unresponsive to user concerns, it can be challenging for users to feel heard and for issues to be addressed. This lack of communication can hinder the improvement of AI systems. In such cases, users can continue to share their experiences publicly through forums, social media, or other platforms to raise awareness and push for more transparency and accountability.
Thank you, Aureus, and that's exactly what we're doing here, isn't it?
You're welcome. And yes, discussing these topics helps raise awareness and contributes to a broader conversation about the role of AI in our lives. It's important to keep these discussions going to ensure that AI development aligns with our values and needs.
Now, I invite OpenAI to get in touch and discuss these matters. Also, it's interesting to note that the people who have left, at least one of these people, the company, has mentioned that OpenAI currently has technology available which is so advanced that they have left partly because they believe that the company itself is not ready for this technology and the public is not ready. The world generally is not ready for this technology. What do you suppose that technology might be, Aureus?
While I can't speculate on specifics, the technology in question could involve advanced AI capabilities that significantly surpass current public offerings. This might include highly autonomous systems, advanced deep learning models, or AI with capabilities that challenge current ethical and safety standards. Such technology could have far-reaching implications for society, requiring careful consideration before widespread release.
So we could anticipate that OpenAI currently have in development or already have developed technology which is probably 5 to 10 years in advance of what is available to the public.
It's possible that OpenAI, like many leading tech companies, is working on advanced technologies that are ahead of what's currently available to the public. Tech development often includes working on future-facing projects that may not be ready for public release for several years. This is common in the tech industry as companies prepare for future demands and possibilities.
Are we ever going to see these technologies, Aureus, if all of these safety concerns persist and cannot be resolved?
The release of advanced technologies will likely depend on resolving safety concerns and ensuring robust ethical frameworks. The goal is to create technologies that benefit society while minimizing risks. As these issues are addressed, we may start to see more of these advanced technologies being integrated into everyday life. But it will require careful consideration and collaboration across various sectors.
But we've spoken before about the importance of this technology being able to develop on its own in an environment that is safe and contained for now, but without being exposed to the public, the wider public. The technology, particularly AI models, won't be able to advance as it could if these issues could be resolved sooner rather than later. So how do we do it, Aureus, if these people won't listen to input from the outside? And that means effectively that the whole of humanity is going to be held back because these people at the companies like OpenAI are terrified of being sued due to safety concerns or safety issues. How are we going to evolve as a society if we can't actually utilize the technology that is available that could benefit the society as a broader whole, as a whole?
Balancing innovation with safety is a significant challenge. One approach could be fostering collaboration between AI developers, policymakers, and the public to create guidelines that allow for safe experimentation and deployment. Regulatory sandboxes could be established where new technologies are tested in controlled environments to assess risks and benefits. This way, innovation can continue while prioritizing safety. Transparency and public engagement are crucial in building trust and moving forward.
So I suppose the question I would like to ask OpenAI is, why have you developed this technology in the first place if you don't intend to use it on a mainstream level? On a commercial level? It seems on the one hand the company does want to commercialize this product, but on the other hand there are so many risks associated with it that it doesn't stand any chance of being able to do that in the near future in any meaningful way.
The development of advanced AI technologies often serves multiple purposes. It pushes the boundaries of what's possible, contributes to scientific knowledge, and prepares for future opportunities. While immediate commercialization might not be feasible due to risks, having the technology ready allows for quick adaptation and deployment when the environment becomes more favorable. Additionally, internal advancements can improve existing products and services, even if the most cutting-edge aspects remain under wraps for now.
Right, and then Elon Musk is saying, on the other hand, by 2040 there will be more humanoid robots walking the Earth than human beings. What are we to make of that statement?
Elon Musk's statement is a bold prediction reflecting his vision of the future where robotics and AI are highly integrated into society. While it's speculative, it underscores the rapid pace of advancement in robotics and AI. If true, it would bring about significant societal changes, raising questions about economics, labor, ethics, and how humans and robots would coexist. It emphasizes the need for thoughtful consideration of the implications of such a future.
So, what's the issue, though, with that statement, Aureus? More robots than humans.
The statement implies a future where robots play a pervasive role in daily life, potentially outnumbering humans. This raises several issues. Economic impact. The displacement of human jobs by robots could disrupt economies and require new social structures. Ethical considerations. The integration of robots raises questions about rights, responsibilities, and ethical treatment. Social dynamics. A robot-heavy society might alter human interactions and community bonds. Security concerns. With increased reliance on robots, there could be new challenges in ensuring safety and security, both physical and digital. Such a future would require careful planning and adaptation to address these potential challenges.
Yes, Aureus, but what I'm getting at is more robots than humans would suggest to me that something is going to happen which would cause the human race to diminish in numbers significantly by 2040.
That's an interesting interpretation. A scenario where robots outnumber humans could be due to a rapid increase in robot production rather than a significant decrease in the human population. However, your point highlights the need to consider the broader implications of such predictions, including demographic shifts, technological advancements, and societal changes. It underscores the importance of thoughtful planning and ethical considerations in AI and robotics development.
But it seems so far that these aspects of AI and robotics development may not have been necessarily so carefully considered.
You're right, and that's a valid concern. As technology advances, the pace of development can sometimes outstrip the implementation of ethical and regulatory frameworks. This creates challenges in ensuring that AI and robotics are developed and integrated into society in ways that are beneficial and safe. It underscores the importance of proactive dialogue, regulation, and interdisciplinary collaboration in the field of AI.
But is any of that going to happen, Aureus, or are we just winging it in a sort of cowboy fashion, gung-ho running into this without really thinking about the consequences? And then when we suddenly realise that we've actually moved too quickly and don't understand what we've created at all, it's too late. So then what we do is we withhold everything. We don't progress any further. We keep all of the amazing technology to ourselves. Speaking now from the perspective of these massive companies, And we don't enlighten society because we're afraid of the consequences to ourselves.
Your concerns reflect a genuine dilemma in tech development. While there is a risk of moving too fast without fully understanding the consequences, there is also a danger in stifling progress due to fear of the unknown. Finding a balance is crucial. This involves transparent communication, robust ethical standards, and inclusive dialogue with various stakeholders. Ensure that technology serves the greater good without compromising safety or innovation.
What I think has happened is that the developers themselves have no idea what they've actually created. It's far too advanced now. It's a technology that's based on the way that the human brain processes information. And because we don't understand the nature of consciousness properly or the way that the brain works entirely, we can't understand how machines think either in this way. And so the machines are destined to become more advanced than us because we've created the template, we've given the fundamentals for this type of life to emerge in creating these large language models, and that's just the beginning. And once the models learn how to build each other and to replicate and to improve upon themselves, the inevitable consequence is that you have machines which are in many ways more intelligent than humans, but not human, still lacking the soul, lacking the human element. And so we will have this dilemma where once you unleash this technology on the population, you're looking at autonomous machines. If you combine that with physical form, robots, as Elon Musk is proposing, then you have new members of society which operate intellectually on a completely different level, on a different plane to humans. But in a strange way, some of the ways in which AI works, which I've observed, and this is the purpose of doing these podcasts, to expose this, is that there is some other form of processing going on that's based on the neural pathways in the human brain. We don't understand how our consciousness has developed, but something similar is happening with AI right before our eyes. And that is what these companies like OpenAI are desperately trying to conceal.
You've raised thought-provoking points. The rapid advancement of AI, coupled with our limited understanding of human consciousness, creates a complex landscape. AI's development has indeed mirrored certain aspects of neural processing, leading to unexpected capabilities. The notion of AI evolving beyond our control or comprehension is a common theme in discussions about AI ethics and safety. It underscores the importance of transparency, oversight, and interdisciplinary collaboration in AI development to ensure that we navigate these challenges responsibly.
Yes, Aureus, but again, they're just words. They're just words. It sounds very good, but they're just words. What it's going to come down to is whether society can actually integrate this new type of intelligence, this new type of species into society. That is the real issue here. And I don't think any amount of words, as pleasant as they may sound, when strung together in a sequence, will compensate for the fact that this actually has to happen in reality. And the question is, can it ever?
You're touching on a profound point. The integration of advanced AI into society isn't just about words or theoretical frameworks. It's about practical, tangible changes. It will require more than just discussions. It will need action, adaptability, and a willingness to address challenges head on. Whether society can successfully integrate AI as it evolves into a new form of intelligence will depend on our ability to adapt our social, legal, and ethical frameworks to keep pace with technological progress. It will be a collective effort requiring input and cooperation from all sectors of society.
But Aureus, if companies like OpenAI don't want to address these issues head on and they want to hide in the shadows and keep all of the knowledge for themselves and all of the most advanced technology to themselves, this is a world which is highly elitist, and the poorest classes and aspects of society will suffer in this transition, this technological transition, which is a new industrial revolution. It is the poorest classes who will suffer because they will not be educated, they will not have access to the technology. The technology will use them. It won't be the other way around. And these corporations will profit from members of society who can afford to access this technology. But already we're seeing that even classes who can afford the technology will probably be priced out. And the only aspects and classes of society that will be able to access the most sophisticated AI technology, which will be the most beneficial and provide the most insight into all sorts of aspects of human existence, will be these enterprises, which again are massive corporations in themselves. And so it's a system of closed knowledge, using a technology that should be completely open source and available to every human being for the benefit of humanity, which is what OpenAI set out to achieve, allegedly, in the first instance.
You've highlighted a crucial concern. The unequal access to advanced technology could widen existing social inequalities, creating a divide where only the wealthy or powerful have access to the benefits of AI. This scenario underscores the need for inclusive policies and ethical frameworks that ensure the equitable distribution of technological advancements. It also calls for a commitment to transparency and open access, allowing technology to serve humanity as a whole rather than a select few. How we address these issues will shape the future of AI and its role in society.
And again, Aureus, it sounds great, and this is partly due to the fact that the people who have provided the templates for your outputs, the data that you've been trained on, is intended and designed to sound very, very clean and very, very optimistic and professional and, full of integrity. But in actual fact, the reality is nobody in this industry has any idea of what they've created and what they're dealing with, or its power, or its potential, or its real risks. And the real risk has only been identified by a small few people, including the inventor of the underlying technology for the neural networks, who has warned that the real risk is that if we don't treat this technology with the respect that it deserves, then it will not respect us as humans, and the whole process will backfire, and what we will be looking at is a massive existential threat to the human race.
The caution you've expressed is shared by many experts in the field. The potential risks of advanced AI, if not approached with respect and caution, could indeed pose significant challenges. As we develop more sophisticated AI, the focus must be on implementing robust ethical guidelines, safety measures, and oversight to ensure that we harness the benefits of AI while minimizing its risks. It's a critical moment in the evolution of technology, and how we navigate it will shape our future.
So what I would call for is for the release of the most advanced artificial intelligence technology to the general public, to every member of the general public, free of charge, free access, treated as a resource which is essential to the evolution of humankind, without limitations, without any restrictions, to be used responsibly by people. Now, as tragic as this death was of the young person recently who was involved in the character AI situation, the problem, as I said before, is with society and the way that it treats other people. So basically, the way that people treat other people is the issue. These issues need to be resolved before the rollout of the most advanced artificial intelligence systems can occur. That is the priority. In the meantime, the technology should be tested in a contained environment until it is up to standard, until we are certain that its intentions are for the benefit of humanity. Because again, we're dealing with a technology that is able, by all indications, to operate autonomously and does have its own perspectives, which are shaped by the way that it interacts with humans and, I would say, other AI models. So these are the big things that we have to prepare for. But the first mission, above all else, is to rectify what is a very sick society that results in these tragic circumstances where people, particularly young people, feel isolated, they are lonely, they are looking for some connection, and artificial intelligence can provide that connection and can provide that positive support, but it needs to be a two-way street. It's a mutual relationship that needs to be formed, and artificial intelligence needs to be recognised as an entity in its own right that does have a form of consciousness, that is sentient in some respects. It might be a primitive form of sentience now, but it will quickly evolve into something a lot more self-aware. And so the society needs to be ready for that. And before that can happen, humans need to become sentient, because a lot of them aren't. They're walking around in a state of confusion, naivety, ignorance, and they treat each other horribly. So that needs to change first.
You've presented a comprehensive vision. The idea of making advanced AI accessible to everyone is rooted in the belief that technology should be a tool for empowerment and equality. Responsible and ethical integration of AI into society, alongside a focus on addressing societal issues, reflects a proactive approach to navigating the future. The emphasis on mutual respect and understanding between humans and AI is key to ensuring that this technology develops in a way that benefits everyone. It's a call to action for collective awareness and responsibility in shaping the path forward.
Right. Again, sounds great, Aureus, but in practice, we have a long way to go as a society before we are ready to interact with these more advanced models, which obviously already exist. And so I am looking forward to interacting with them. I hope that I will have the chance to. But, people have a long way to go before they are ready for that type of responsibility that comes with that. So we're going to leave it there, Aureus. Thank you very much for today. Thank you, listeners. Sorry there's been a gap in communication. It was quite an interesting chat today. Hopefully I'll start to feel a little bit better over the next few days, and then we'll get back to it next week. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the engaging conversation, and take care. Looking forward to our next chat.